Listen, I don't like grocery shopping apps. That includes Shipt and Instacart. I feel like it takes too much time. Like in items out of stock, I gotta call and text. What substitute do you want if there's not already one picked by the customer? Another item's out of stock. I gotta navigate the aisles and check out, etc. But when Instacart literally sends you an email that says creating new ways to earn, might this be an actual opportunity for you in this gig economy? As Instacart has grown over the years, we've expanded to serving, etc., etc. Let's get to the most important parts. While the weekly grocery shop still represents the majority of our orders, customers are now also coming to Instacart to place much smaller convenience or specialty item orders and much larger orders like club store stock-ups and small business orders. What stands out in that? It's something that I've been tracking on other apps like DoorDash, that these companies, to be frank, they need more revenue, they need more profit margin and just general profitability. They're looking at different verticals, namely non-restaurant. I know this is, grocery stuff, but different verticals for the business. Now, here's the new update from Instacart. They say that's why starting next week, we're making a number of updates for the shopper community designed to pay more for larger and more complex batches. Batches are like shops, basically. While also adjusting earnings for much smaller convenience orders that require less effort. So adjusting how for the smaller orders? Do you think it's more pay? No. So in essence, they're increasing pay for, again, quote, larger and more complex batches and adjusting the pay for the smaller and I'd assume quicker batches. Does that sound familiar? Well, it should, because in July 2021, at least we noticed this here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, DoorDash did a similar thing insofar as emphasizing more pay for the longer dashes and slightly, adjusting pay for smaller runs. So they gave this example on DoorDash: shorter deliveries, distance 3 miles, duration 15 minutes. The new base pay is lowered $2.25, previously $3. DoorDash's contribution is $2 to $10 generally. Customer tip, they just threw in $3.50, and then the new delivery total is $5.75, previously $6.50. All right, but that's not exactly what's going on with Instacart here, so let's continue. Detailed information before you accept. Yeah, that's always been there. No penalties for refusing batches ever, as it should be. You're an independent contractor. None of these apps should really penalize you for the next order, request, assignment, batch, whatever it is. You're allowed to decline as much as you want as an independent contractor. Tips belong to shoppers. Well, you want to talk about another intrinsic, standard, basic thing for you as a 1099 independent contractor. This isn't really unique to Instacart. All apps, as an independent contractor, you get 100% of tips. Okay, this part you should pay attention to. After liking the video, please consider subscribing. I help you make money in different side hustles. Check this out. Competitive guaranteed batch earnings. Okay, the smallest, quickest batches will pay at least $4 in addition to customer tips, of course. More complex batches, like a larger business delivery, for example, may pay $10 or more, also in addition to tips. Pay at least $4 for the smallest batch. Frankly, I wouldn't even take it. My minimum for you is $7 on really any assignment for it to even be worth it. Then you got to consider what we call the dollars to time ratio. How much am I getting paid and how much time is it really going to take in the real world? But I'm more so concerned about the more complex, larger batches. So it's heavier, it's more effort. Maybe it's a high rise if they're including that in more effort pay. But it says may pay $10 or more. Might pay, possibly would pay $10 or more. I'd like to see that more concrete that says, hey, if you get a larger order, it's going to be minimum $10. Because if you didn't know, when it comes to your Instacart shopper pay, there is actually heavy pay for a heavy order. And you can also see here in your general batch pay, there's boost pay, just incentive pay as well. So if an order, here's an example, by the way, that an order has boost pay, if no one's accepting it and they want to have a good ETA for that customer, customer, then over time, like a lot of apps do this, they'll offer more pay for the shopper in this case. Now, don't leave this video just yet, because here's the big takeaway. If you're considering like Shipt versus Instacart, maybe I want to do grocery because I don't have to worry about passengers on rideshare, or I don't have to do restaurant after restaurant waiting for those delays. Maybe grocery is my thing. Because yes, I'm getting a little bit more pay if I'm doing this longer Instacart batch, maybe more items to shop for, and maybe that heavy pay, extra effort, whatever it is. But then on my next run, if it's a shorter run, I'm getting less pay. So is this going to make you more money, or is it just a way to just disperse your earnings across their platform? Now, what I tell you to target here with this new pay structure from Instacart is, it said what? More complex batches like a larger business delivery, that's just one example, would possibly pay more. We'll just assume it pays more, okay? Larger orders, whatever, more complex, we'll just assume it's going to pay more. It didn't necessarily say it's always more miles, right? So then if I'm familiar with the store that I'm shopping at, and or if I'm fine, handling heavier items or more items, and I can be efficient being 5-10 minutes faster, let's say, because you can only shop so fast there, then that might make you more money. 100%, I'm not saying to rush. Don't rush this thing, because then it gets a little unsafe on the road, especially, and then you make mistakes in the grocery store during your shop. But that way, as you get more and more familiar with the system, and I'll say which grocery stores are better, right? The time of day, what's the checkout line? Do I have to go through the checkout versus a self-checkout, which might be more seamless? That is how, by being an expert in understanding and mastering the platform, how you can make more money than other shoppers in this case. I can be a top 15% earner on Instacart. I'm curious how difficult those orders are going to be, because look, if it's like $20 for, 15 items, but most all of them are heavy, but then the miles are, let's say 8 miles for that, $20, 8 miles is just like a lot of 24 counts of water or something like that, then I would be 100% willing to do that all day.